You're here on another episode of Do You Remember This Movie? Yes, we got a doozy in here for you tonight. A doozy. Have I said that on one of our shows before? A doozy? If I haven't, I'm going to start. If I have, I'm going to continue.
That's going to be the Corey catchphrase of the day.
A doozy. Yeah, so good evening, gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out. I'm kind of dressed up tonight for the occasion, you know. Hopefully maybe we see what I'm talking about later on, but I would love for Cam to tell us about this movie.
Now it's time for the synopsis with Cam. The synopsis with Cam.
Okay.
Deep breath.
How do you describe this film? High school is a dangerous place. Guys.
And a deadly experience.
Guys, I think I downloaded the wrong Karate Kid. I think the last one would just be, this is just R-rated sidekicks. I didn't know what to say.
It's nothing like Sidekicks. It doesn't even have anybody from Sidekicks in it.
Yeah, not a single person.
Wait. You sure about that? Are you sure?
All right, let's yeah.
Is that tagline? You sure about that? Somebody else already took that one, I think.
Let's find out who's in this one.
Sure. Yes, it is. Hi. There was somebody from Sidekicks in this movie. I believe he goes by the name, is it Mako or Mako, maybe? But he plays the sensei for the Lions group, right? Because there's Lions versus Scorpions for the Lions group. But he's mostly known for being Mr. Lee in Sidekicks, which we just did a couple episodes back. Next up, we have Aaron Gray, who plays Andrea, the mom.
Andrea?
I don't know. It's not Andrea. Anyways, most importantly, she plays Lila in the ever wonderful, not 1-pack, not 2-pack, not 3-pack, but she's in 6-pack. Yeah.
She was also in Buck Rogers in the 20th century. So she's been around.
I mean, hey, she's been around. Next up, we have Ted Jan Roberts, maybe Ted John Roberts, depends on where you're from, possibly. Ted Jan. Jan or Jan. Like a Jan, yeah. That's kind of what this movie was. Oh, throwing shade. Just kidding. But he plays like the main character, Ethan, who we see on the cover of the movie. But he's mostly known for being Kevin in other karate movies called The Magic Kid 1 and 2.
And this was The Magic Kid 3.
This is a dangerous place.
No, it's there was a sticker on the family video copy that I rented because we're not criminals. We go to family video for all these movies.
He says there was a sticker, but there's a sticker.
So yeah, so what this had to do, they had to ride on the Magic Kid coattails, right? And so, could you imagine, getting all of your bestest, closest friends together to go over the trilogy, and you're like, wait a second, he has a different name in this one, and a brother. What's going on here?
Well, it had a brother. Also, can you imagine being famous from karate or whatever this is supposed to be? Did you guys do karate as kids?
No, just in the
back. No, we were too cool.
No, my school had like a Taekwondo class, and I went there once, and then they're like, you won't get to kick until like year 3. And I was like, I'll just go home then.
I'm out. You don't get to kick until year 3.
They took me to the Taekwondo class, and they were like, the the first thing out of their mouths was, "You must practice discipline." And I'm like, huh? No way.
There's no disciplined bone in my body here. Oh goodness.
Yeah,
We got one more. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say we got one more, but we can save it. It's a good one.
I think that karate is something I thought out. I was always like interested in because of the Karate Kid and the like, right? But yeah, it is that discipline that is the problem, right? It's like if you have zero patience to be good at something, karate is the least likely thing that you're going to stick with. And it just takes so long, and also the things you see in movies will probably never be likely to ever happen.
No, I don't think you're going to be able to pull off a roundhouse kick or like a drop kick in an actual fight. Maybe. I mean, I guess I didn't learn karate to know that. But speaking of karate, this next person in this movie, probably the most famous person in this movie, did karate as a turtle. As Donatello in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this guy's name is Corey frickin' Feldman. He plays Taylor, or the bad guy in this movie. Mostly known for the 1990 Turtles as Donatello, but we could go on and on. I mean, Stand By Me, The Lost Boys, The Goonies, The Burbs, Corey's Angels. I mean, he's all over the place. Michael Jackson's best friend, like, dude, I'm a fan. Corey Feldman.
Yeah, he's mostly known for being one of the Coreys.
One of the Coreys, yeah. So there's Corey Feldman, Corey
Hames,
and Corey Wabanek.
But your middle
Corey
name,
Feldman Wabanek.
Yeah, your middle name is is Feldman. So yeah, what an interesting cat he is, and when I heard about this movie, I thought he would have been the good guy.
You would have thought, but he was like bad boy wannabe Danny Zuko karate guy who had the chops.
Yeah,
and everything too.
And his chops are backwards. You guys notice that? His chops, like they go, instead of coming out like towards your chin, they went back towards his ear.
They do. I'm looking at a picture now.
Yeah, I don't know what they were.
That was his decision, 100%. He was like, "No, I need him to go this way."
Or Jocko's decision. Yeah. Jocko.
Jocko.
There we go. All right.
Anyways, let's watch the movie.
All right. We pretty much are gonna watch the entire movie. So we're gonna show the opening scene, kind of a lot of it. I clipped it as much as I could to make it sane. It's there's just so much to soak in. So he's chewing a distractingly amount of gum. Like it's distractingly like a lot of gum. And so when you watch this, we're probably like 2 minutes into the movie. They're still showing the credits, and you're kind of like, "What's with the gum?"
Yep, 100%. Oh yeah, Big Van Patten. He was the principal.
Give him a show.
Known for Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just about to lock up. Oh, I just wanted to fill out an application.
That gum, man.
For free motorcycle.
Sponsored by Big League Chews.
See, I guess I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I must have misunderstood the.
And his sideburns going the wrong way.
Sorry to bother you.
So
Have a nice day.
He puts all the gum in the lock.
Look how the guy immediately leaves right behind him. I know he said he was leaving, but there's no security alarm to type in or anything.
But that's not how gumming a lock works, right? Wouldn't the guy still be latching the door? Like, if it didn't latch, he wouldn't have locked it. We've all worked at somewhere where we had to lock the door at the end of the day. We had to be the ones responsible. Didn't you check the door?
Yeah, Just see if it's locked. This is 1994. Things were different then.
I have a hard time with this one. But anyway, they get in.
Easily. What if he grabbed his gum and put it back in his mouth?
That would be hilarious. or now split it up evenly to his four
And give it
friends.
to the crew.
Like a bird feeding its young. So they see a cop. So I don't know why I keep stopping this because I'm just making this go even longer. But I'm just gonna turn the volume down a little bit here. All right. So they see the cops, right? Let me just...
Cops, man, get down.
If they wouldn't have ducked down, would the cop even notice? I mean, the guy just closed 5 seconds ago. He would assume that the guy's still there and they're just looking at the inventory. But they all jump down like super, suspect-like.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here before the rest of the police come.
I'm ditching you guys. Bye.
Yeah.
OJ style. It was 94. And is that a Bronco?
It is not a Bronco. It's a Blazer.
Okay.
But close enough. Okay, so the cop...
Even says it's a Blazer. Yep.
The cop calls for backup. And then what do these guys ramp off of, by the way?
There's a ramp in the building.
Yeah.
They strategically see that there. They strategically put that there, for thieves.
But it wasn't there when they were looking out the window from the inside is what I'm getting at.
Oh, there's a lot of little fun treats like that in this movie where there's like, yeah, it's 7 days later. We're filming a different scene. Let's just throw it in.
Okay, so this cop chase is way too long. I'll turn the volume down so we can talk over it. But he's calling for backup, but they only follow the bike. So Corey Feldman is gone. He
got away scot-free.
And then why are they driving on the sidewalk to catch these kids?
Yeah, you just follow.
And then these guys are idiots. The guys on the bikes, they ramp this, right? And the cops spin out to turn around and get them, but so do they. They turn around. They would have got away scot-free right there.
It's like they could have just kept going straight instead of having to go.
Okay, so then the cops, as dumb as they are,
naturally,
and then these guys stop to look. Yeah, let's let them get as good of a description as they can get, and they high five each other. Well, how moronic. Okay, so this is how this movie starts, right? And so you're in for a treat when the opening scene is just dumb, and we haven't even gotten to any karate yet, right? So then we get to meet the good guy family, right? The good kid and his brother, and his brother has been seduced by the dark side and has joined the Scorpions. And they go out to this beach and they fight for bikes, dirt bikes, because even though they just stole some, they need more. And it's a super bizarre scene. Corey, I wish there was more time to include all the clips. I would just say watch the entire movie. But Corey Feldman takes his sunglasses off and gives it to his friend so he can fight. But then he asks for him back during the middle of the fight and still fights with the sunglasses on.
Yeah, I did notice that too.
Yeah,
he's like, hold my sunglasses, and then like 2 punches later, he's like, I'll take him back. I think that was like him saying, I don't need to not have these on. I'm Corey Feldman. I mean, I'm Taylor.
Yeah,
Taylor.
So they have seduced our hero, the older brother, into breaking into these people's house. And so one of them was like, no, there's nobody gonna be home. My mom watches their cat.
Yep.
How wrong they were.
Oh yeah.
Because there's people there. So he's trying to leave, telling them, hey, no, there's people here. And then they attack him. And then they start attacking him.
What are you crazy? World breaker! Hey, stop what you're hurting!
Stop it! I'm gonna call the police!
Shut her up!
This makes zero sense. They should have just left when he wanted them to leave. He was alerting them that the jig is up, right? And so he wants. So I kind of splice this so it just gets over quickly here, but
Have a little mace.
So they mace him because he is a better karateist than any of them, right? So he would have won in a fair fight. But they mace him so he can't see, and then Corey Feldman takes out his claw of doom. Right? I wish they would have called it like the Stinger, because they're scorpions.
Because they're scorpions, yeah.
My eyes! I can't see! Come on, Craig!
It just seemed completely pointless to have to do this. Like, so did he die on the hit, or did he die like from falling down the stairs?
He died from the hit. He died from the claw thing, right?
Well, then the coroner really screwed up.
Oh, no, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Because there was like zero investigation. So here's how they explain this. And this is nuts. This is nuts. This is at the point where I realize that I like this movie a lot. Okay? So
He's dead, man.
he's dead, man. All right. So his brother goes to school the next day, because everybody's like, "Hey, dead guy in the gym, check it out." So this is the most population of the school that got assembled for anything, right? This is like 8 pep rallies in a school election to get combined. They all come to see the dead kid, but so Feldman and his goons made it look like a suicide. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The filmmakers didn't.
So are we supposed to believe that he stood on one of those basketball rack things?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna climb up and hang yourself on the basketball hoop,
And you still leave the balls on as well.
that's what I'm saying.
And those are on wheels.
And I get what they're trying to do. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he missed all these shots, and so he just ended it."
He didn't make the team.
I can't shoot a 3 anymore.
Yeah, because what you don't see here is the money ball, right? Because he was going for the 3-point championship of the All-Star game. All right,
They should have used the net to
Nice.
hang him up there. Instead, they had a perfectly tied noose. Let's just
A perfectly tied noose connected to the bottom of his pants. It's like the least natural looking. I don't know. Call me a purist, but come on, give me a good hanging scene. Come on.
The way coming up here, the way the family just handles this, it didn't seem like they really cared a whole lot.
Yeah, they're handling this like their son just quit college.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and the entire first act is about how these guys are evil and not about how this guy is awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't you spend the first act of this movie being like, oh,
No.
what a sympathetic character?
They wedge it in with that girl going, "I want to know more about your brother and how it helped, because he helped me the other day." And the kid's like, "Really? Yeah, I was getting picked on by some bullies, and he came and used his karate on them, and so I owe him my life." And you're like, "Oh, so he is a good guy." Okay, that's the one testimonial that we get throughout the movie that is going to explain that he was a good guy. So I agree with you, Cam, that they missed the boat. I also think that the detective is missing the boat because he is an idiot. So listen,
Greg been depressed lately? Was there anything odd about his behavior?
He was a normal 17-year-old. He had his growing pains, but he was far from suicidal.
Did he use any drugs?
be a lot cooler if he did.
All the time.
I don't think so.
But I'll bet his Scorpion's friends do.
Scorpions?
Well, I'm not going to check them out until a good halfway through the movie.
They're a karate team. Greg had been spending a lot of time with them.
I have to tell you, from everything I've seen, it looks like a suicide.
Case closed.
Yeah.
No joke, it looked like a suicide. It looked like... Also, I just now realize the saying that it's the Scorpions. As a detective, you would be like, oh, there's my smoking gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
No, it could be them. It's a suicide.
So later in the film, because my first thought was, wait a second, he was in a fight earlier that day to win that bike for the Feldman, and then they were beating him up at the thing, and then they sprayed the mace in his eyes. So later, Feldman and his goons explained that they washed the mace out of his eyes. They washed the mace out of a dead person's eyes. Like, man, those guys know how to party.
Like garden hose.
And then the detective later explains that the bruising doesn't make sense with like light karate, sparring, right? No, like they're trying to kill each other. Two different times that day he was getting beat up, right? Like, and so it's wild that they think that this is a suicide. All right.
They should have gotten David Duchovny in there to.
So our hero kid, the little brother, has decided that he needs to be the vigilante here, and he's acting out at school, and he goes after one of the Scorpions, and that's when we get to meet Dick Van Patten, who is as inept of a principal as the detective is at detective work, right? So I thought this scene was hilarious.
Ethan, I know that you've been going through a very difficult time, but fighting with your classmates is not the solution.
I know.
Well, that's good that you know that. Is there anything I can do to help you get through all this?
No.
Would you like to go back to class?
Yes.
Oh, that's a fine idea. Well, why don't you go back to class right now?
So I wanted to ask you guys both, and our viewers who have watched all our episodes, who's
all
a better?
Of them, more than once.
Yep. Who's a better principal, this guy or the guy from Cypher?
Oh, I was thinking class of 1984.
Ooh, Cypher in the Snow is where I was going with it.
I think Cypher loses.
So who's
but that guy wasn't okay. But that guy wasn't an idiot. He was smart enough to get out of telling the kid's parents.
Yeah, well, he was a criminal.
Anyways, yeah, though this principal scene definitely he's a dummy.
Yeah.
Oh, would you like to leave this conversation? Because I would love for this to be over with. Do you want to go back to class? Yes. Excellent. Let's never talk about this again.
You guys want a terrible Cam anecdote? Cue the music. One time, we were doing the ITBSs, the Iowa Test of Basic Skills. I took a bite of my apple because we were served lunch in our classroom on those days, and it was rotten. It was a rotten apple, and I immediately ran over to this is third grade. I run over to the corner of the classroom and spit out the apple. And I made a whole scene of it because, it was funny and everything like that. My principal walks in to that classroom because we're the classroom next to his office. He brings me into his principal's office and he's like, I was on a call and you just embarrassed me. And I was like, wow, dude, rough for you. I ate a rotten apple.
That you're
This came, the apple originated from the school's menu.
And then he just berated me until I cried. And then I got sent back to class and everyone was like, Cam's a bitch. He cried in front of the principal. But that was a foundational moment.
And then you killed the principal.
That's what I was going to say.
I did the...
And then you hung him.
Yeah, he did the claw move.
You know what's
and
crazy?
Then you hung him from the basketball hoop, which is a tribute to why you're so tall.
Yeah, he
I dunked his head. Great stuff. And play the music again.
Awesome. Okay, I just wanted to show this scene. I don't know. It's not really. This is not even. This is the movie making the joke, But so he starts seeing the kid, his brother, like his ghost brother.
So stupid.
Greg?
So he's
No, it was just Ghost Greg.
so he's like, Greg, why are you so sweaty?
You're covered in ectoplasm.
Greg,
That's the mace from his eyes.
I'm gonna guess so. Yeah. All right. This again. Did you guys catch this scene? Like, so Corey Feldman is kind of known for ad-libbing in movies, right?
Really?
Yes. And so my guess here is that this is one of them. Because he says a line that's a little weird. Okay. Well, okay. I'll set this up. So since she is friends with him and he's younger than Feldman, you'd have to then associate that she is younger than Feldman.
Yes.
Did you guys all get the sense that she was younger? Like
I assume that her and
him were in the same grade or at least a year apart.
And Feldman's like a year or two older, maybe.
Exactly, because he must be a senior,
like seniors and sophomores kind of thing,
or freshman,
or super seniors.
Yeah, and we'll bring up too that I think the problem with this movie. I mean, Cam's just gonna say what one problem? Yes, the one problem with this movie is that the kid they got to be the hero is just far too small. He's fighting. So what we have is we have actors in their mid-20s, late 20s acting as 17, 18-year-olds, and then you have an actual 14-year-old that's just far too small, and he has to take on these. It seems unrealistic. I get in the magic of karate that you can just do anything you want. It's all skill and talent, but it seems weird. He is, whatever. So
I do want to say too, before you hit play, I did notice something with this scene, so I'm happy that you brought this up, and I want to see if you were thinking the same thing here.
Yeah, listen to what Feldman says to the girl. Okay.
Hey, Kimmy. How's the little sister of yours doing?
A lot better without you around.
Oh, ouch. God, that hurts so bad.
Loser. I'll see you in class.
Okay. How's your little sister doing?
Like implying that she's the
yeah,
obviously the older sister, duh. But so you're older than her,
yeah,
Mr. Taylor,
and you dated her younger sister. I guess he's more of a criminal than we thought.
I thought that you were gonna put in there. So right after that, he talks to Ethan just for a brief moment there, and then Ethan paid, and then he goes, "This is on him."
Yeah, and he already paid.
And Ethan had already paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan already paid for himself. Maybe he paid for her too. I can't remember.
Yeah, no,
but then,
and it was. She said it was $350. So we don't know how much the lunch was.
Right, and then Corey Feldman, as we're saying, was like, "Yeah, this is on him." And just keep walking. Like if I was like the person to register, be like, he didn't pay for you. Come back, and they just kept walking.
Yeah, this movie has no rules.
Biggest plot hole in the movie.
Well, and then this is one of Corey's favorite things, so I wanted to include it. So we get another Dick Van Patten moment of him being amazing, but we get well, I'm not gonna give it away. Let's just play it.
What am I supposed to do with you, Ethan?
You do what you have to do, and I'll do what I have to do.
Is that what you have to do? 2 assaults in 2 days?
High school can be a dangerous place.
He said the thing about it. So that's and Cam said the thing earlier too. So
he did.
Oops.
If only the principal would have replied and said, "And a deadly experience." That's what it says on here.
Yeah, no, that's what it says on the box art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's where we get to seeing some of the craziness here. I can't remember this character's name, but look, he's wearing socks.
That's the guy who walks home with him at one point.
Right after the scene.
This is right after that. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, this happens right before that.
Understood.
Yeah. But he's wearing socks. Watch this. You can't see his socks right now, but you will. Socks.
Great kick, Taylor. Eddie, that was pathetic.
Socks.
Socks. Yep.
Why have I been teaching you? You've learned nothing. Let's see what you got. Come on in.
So this is the same scene. I just cut.
No socks.
Yeah, well, because he got told to take his shoes off, but
Eddie.
Eddie is his name. Yep. No socks.
I mean, and I didn't see him take them off. Nobody ever said no socks, but he shouldn't have been wearing socks in the first place, right? Isn't that like the whole point?
Yeah. I mean, just for safety, you'd slide around that thing. I would think. You know what? I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert in this. Maybe socks is the way to go. But
I think you're supposed to wear ballet shoes.
Got it.
Yeah, that way when they kick to the jugular, it's ultra lethal
and beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is but this is the same scene. I cut it for time there, but it is the same scene. Not wearing socks. I'm gonna bring something up similar to this a little bit later here. Anyway, so they fight. Who cares? All right.
Greg really doesn't.
No, you're right.
The fight scenes are pretty lame.
Yeah.
Again, mom doesn't seem devastated whatsoever.
Well, and then listen to what he says here. I, of course, show this whole thing. All right, listen to what
Greg really doesn't fit the profile of a suicide.
Shouldn't you have known this a week ago?
You believe us then?
Maybe. There are an awful lot of loose ends, though. Was your brother having trouble with a girlfriend? Was he interested in someone who rejected him?
Would he have found me attractive?
Yeah, that was the vibe of the scene. Is like what it was too early in history to be like, did he maybe have a boyfriend?
It's like, I would have asked this before, but you guys were still grieving. Now it's been a few days. I feel like I can come.
Yeah,
you guys have the exact same attitude, but now.
That come from?
A few of his friends in the Scorpions.
I was thinking about checking them out. Do you guys know anything about them?
Yeah.
All right, I wanted to just show this scene is so stupid.
What is this place?
I don't know. There was like a mesh,
like a flea market or something.
No, it's like a warehouse, but like there was like a mesh, like it was like a mesh covering to cover up that there was stuff behind here.
But they have like different departments.
Yeah. Well, there's jewelries, TVs, and stereos. I don't know about other departments.
Very eloquent, Walt.
This just had
Get the Japanese stuff.
like
Get the Japanese stuff.
What were you gonna say,
that
Corey?
one.
this had Foot Clan
Oh yeah.
turtles written all over it.
And this is
Japanese stuff.
And this is post.
I must have been peeing or something.
The Sony stuff.
Well, so again, Cam, to address Cam, he's gonna say something that Corey Feldman's gonna give a line here that you can tell he's so proud of, and it doesn't land at all. Okay, but yes, Corey, this predates or this postdates Turtles, so maybe he took some of his Foot Clan knowledge. Right?
I bet he was like, hey, if I'm going to do another karate movie, I don't want to be a turtle this time. And actually, I want to be like one of the bad guys. Like,
yeah,
I want to be a real boy, but with backwards sideburns.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen to him land his line about the origins of these devices here.
Get the Japanese stuff.
Well, Mom says buy American.
They say steal Japanese.
He was proud of that line. Yeah, so my mom says buy American, so steal Japanese.
What if that was ad-libbed?
Well, and then this is weird too. So they escape in this like moving van, and he tells them that they are never gonna get up to speed unless they lose some weight, and so throw the TVs out. That's not. the torque of one of those moving vans is not going to be affected by some 20-inch TVs being in the back. And it makes it sound like they really packed this thing up, and they didn't. You can see all of them in there, right? So there's two things to watch here.
Yeah, there's plenty of room.
They could have stolen way more stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, get rid of some of the TVs. We gotta lift some weight back here.
Two TVs back there.
I hope it works.
Okay, so check this out. So I don't know if you guys saw that when Eddie was carrying stuff, he was carrying something lighter, and Feldman.
He had a bad back.
Yeah, Feldman makes a comment about he's carrying a DAT player, right? So why is that significant? Because it's right here. You guys can see my mouse?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's right here. Okay, I'm going to turn this down just a hair so we're not, because we don't really need to hear any of this. But watch this. So you got, just keep in mind of the boxes. This is almost like that Thanksgiving episode. Keep in mind of the boxes here. So you got like a big box. This is that TV they throw at the end. Big box, and then the DAT player, right?
Well.
A continuity error in this film?
No.
Or these criminals were so inept that they stole 2 DAT players.
Ooh.
So who I guess let's educate our viewers on what a DAT player would be. Is a digital audio tape. It was never a main medium for anything really other than like recording studios were using ADATs,
Or throwing them at the cops.
But a DAT tape player was not a hot item even if you stole it. You know. All right.
But was it manufactured in Japan?
I don't think they threw any of the Japanese stuff out.
Also, that whole scene was like a terrestrial version of a Star Trek: The Next Generation episode. Just dump the load.
Yeah.
And then they'll crash.
So check out her dialogue though. So we need, she's the one who provided us the key information about the older brother, about why he's such a saint and why we need to care. Well, now she's going to give us the dirt on not just Taylor, but the teacher as well, right? Gavin, so he's their evil teacher and the evil sensei, and he's the leader of this evil group that's stealing from people, right?
You guys ever known a good Gavin?
I don't think I've ever known a Gavin.
I'm somewhere in that same boat. Is somebody
You guys ever known a good Gavin with blonde hair?
So if there was somebody, if I've met a Gavin, you told me that your name was different at the time. All right. So listen to her dialogue here. So she's like, she stops him. She's like, we got to talk. I need to tell you this. This is pertinent information. This is going to drive the plot of this movie forward. You need to know this because you're unaware of the happenings in the dark world that is the Scorpions. So let me tell you this extremely detailed story about what happened to my sister and why she's forbidden to see Feldman ever again. Here we go.
Gavin Smith.
Why?
My sister went out with Taylor. I took her to a party at Mr. Smith's house. It was a fancy house for a high school teacher. She asked Taylor about it. Taylor was drunk. He said that teaching is not the only thing that he's into.
What else is he into?
He didn't say. But he did say that they're all scared of him. Careful.
Wow. What a story with no substance at all.
Fill in the blank.
So my
it's already an R-rated film. Just
like
say
Mad
it.
Libs.
So my sister was dating Taylor, and
My younger sister.
Yep, my much younger sister. barely out of 5th grade. He was dating 27-year-old Corey Feldman, right?
He's a senior.
And so they went to the teacher's house, and it was way too nice of a house for a teacher to have on a teacher's salary. And when asked why, he said he's into a lot more than just teaching. Yeah. It's been established that he runs a very successful dojo in town that competes in multiple tournaments, and that's why they've never even heard of the Lions, because there's such a competing force that this little dojo of nothings doesn't even make a speck on their radar. What a weird story. It doesn't tell us anything about anything. I'm glad they kept that in the movie. All right.
Trent, now cut to the footage of me going to 10 dojos in my town and interviewing the senseis and asking them if they make 6 figures.
Well, no, I'm just saying that
you have 10 dojos in your town.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I got 10 dojos within 3 blocks, buddy.
What I'm getting at is just because somebody has a nice house doesn't mean that they specifically must run an organization that steals from households and electronic stores. It just doesn't, the evidence isn't fully in her story is what I'm saying. That's all.
Well, how else would they have a nice house?
Sir, do you buy Japanese or steal Japanese?
Do you think he's having everybody steal all those electronics for his house? Like, why are they stealing that stuff?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying to get new TVs.
No, because they're trying to sell it. Because they bring it to that chop shop. Everything goes that.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. That's right. Yep.
Okay, so here's the final fight. We just get right to the end. But this is a long scene, so I'm gonna try to get through it here. So he has to fight Feldman, right? And it's so ridiculous. So he knows now. He knows that they killed his brother because this homeless man got maced, and he's like, oh, I bet my brother got maced. That's okay. You guys are the killers. I cracked the case, right? And so now he's convinced, and his only way to exact revenge on them is that he's going to fight them in this tournament and kill Feldman. But Feldman and his sensei Gavin they're already on this. They have
the same idea.
Yeah, and they're gonna claw him. And then I'm going to guess that if that didn't work, that's why Feldman brought a gun. So here we go.
It's like the idea was like to kill him with the claw during competition and then be like, it was an accident. But yeah, if that didn't work, then he was just going to say, all right, well, I'm going to prison then.
Yeah.
Rap.
Like,
so check out this wild end of a movie. Here we go.
those kids aren't legal.
Yeah. Like I love the two-handed. Oh, what a great pause! I get that still shot of this is I want that on a t-shirt. All right.
So do I.
Are there weight classes in karate
or age groups? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
not when it's
10 years and 80 pounds.
And
not when it's scorpions and lions, man.
Once somebody's killed your brother, they just let things slide.
Why didn't he bring Mace to the fight?
That would have been fair. And here are the same cops.
Yes, murder that child.
I love the bum.
I gotta go. Screw it, I'm gonna grab the gun.
Why?
Oh, now the race starts.
Everybody goes, right? Okay, hold on. Did he have shoes on right there?
That's what I get. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the shoes.
Yeah.
Is funny.
It is hilarious. So okay. Shoes.
When did he have time to put shoes on?
Maybe when he grabbed the gun. Okay, but so he speeds off. But
So you guys never been late to work? You grab your gun, you throw on your shoes at the same time.
So
sorry.
So Ethan,
Shoot one in the air real quick.
So Ethan also put shoes on.
Yeah.
Okay, and then also he's going to cut off Feldman at the pass.
Yeah, dude.
Head him off.
Like, he's an experienced dirt bike rider by this time in the movie, right? And so this 7-year-old kid can cut him off. I just don't get it. That's not Feldman. Look.
Sick.
That's not.
It's a big boy.
Like
I didn't even notice that.
than-
That's like usually stuntmen are like
the same,
way more fit.
Yeah,
like usually if you're like, oh damn, that's a stuntman, you're like, oh, that's just a way cooler guy with a wig on.
Yeah, like
that was.
Yeah, like there's a reason why they're called body doubles, not like
double bodies.
Oh, that was good. All right, and I love this. I love this kick. This is good. But there's zero way that he caught up with him. There's zero way. Like, I mean, even the simple fact that he was part of the Lions dojo. They don't compete, so wherever they were, it's not like that's where he's used to being, and he knows the terrain, right?
You little punk. There's no rules out here.
It's a football field. There's a bunch of rules. Actually, they have a whole book of them.
Playing Mike.
And multiple referees to
Oh, but he's wearing red, so the refs will just do whatever he says. Yeah.
The Mahomes effect.
Let's play.
I also don't think this is Feldman either.
There's only one goof on the website here that I'm looking at that says Taylor and Ethan both gained shoes when escaping from the police after fighting at school. Did you upload this one?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't look up the movie mistakes.
Oh, I just noticed that. That was very funny. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the only goof on here.
Also, wow, what is loading on your screen behind you, dude?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, is that a? Oh, I thought that was basement cam loading up. Sorry.
He almost flipped those sideburns around with one of those kicks.
That would have been awesome if they had him flip.
And they cut the scene out where so he's got his hand up, right?
Ethan, no!
And he goes, and twists his nose.
I got it.
I got your nose.
I got it.
Like from the Karate Kid Part 2. All right. So anyway, he decides. Oh, this is great. Chuck Norris. Oh. All right. I would have loved to have just ended it there, but I want to show you guys this just a little bit, right? So the detective's there finally gets to do his job and put somebody behind bars, right?
Let's go. Hand behind your back.
First question: do you have a girlfriend?
Okay. Here, check it.
Do you have a boyfriend?
All right, check this out then.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law.
I was in Goonies.
Good defense.
And that was
a dangerous place.
that was a
Dangerous.
And so I'm repping with the Goonies.
Oh, nice, nicely done. I see Cam's just wearing the Feldman glasses, right?
Yeah, I'm repping Des Moines Rugby League.
Dude, if you would have busted out a Corey's Angel shirt right there,
yeah, that would be sick.
Well, Corey Feldman is a part owner of the Des Moines Rugby League.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
Dude,
he's making nickels on that investment.
still more than he is with his band. So.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One of my buddies saw him play at Lala, and he said it was the best thing he's ever seen.
Yeah, I would go.
I think that I'll go first tonight. One thing I'd like to say is this. Karate Kid location was in this movie.
Yep, same dojo.
So same dojo. That's something I noticed right away, but I wasn't 100% sure. Looked it up on some internet thing, and it told me that I was correct. That's my only fun fact of this. Go ahead.
Well, and then we talked about it in the other episode, but Mako was asked to audition for the part of Mr. Miyagi, and then didn't get it. So now he's been in two.
So instead he went and did
Yeah.
A Dangerous Place and Sidekicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made way more money.
Oh yeah. Dude. Oh yeah. He was like, dude, two movies over one. Why wouldn't I do that?
But there was.
He didn't know that at the time. But by the time Dangerous Place came out, I mean, there probably was 3 of them out.
Yeah.
When Karate Kid came out in what, 84, right?
Yep, and then the other 2 would have came out, and then even the new Karate Kid would have.
He came out before
the next Karate Kid. The next Karate Kid, that's what's called. The 4th one's the next.
So yeah, I mean, I just recently watched Karate Kid as well. I've been on the Karate Kick right now. Karate Kick. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 4. I mean, that's where I'm at with this. It was another karate movie. It was kind of predictable, I felt. Not everything. I did not predict them wearing shoes at the end. So that was astonishing to me. But yeah, I give it a 4. I would not buy this movie. I guess I would recommend it to someone who's like, I'm looking for a karate movie to watch that's not, Karate Kid 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, I'm looking for a Karate Kid, not the Karate Kid.
yeah, I'm looking for a Karate Kid. Overall, I give it a 4 out of 10. And who would like to go next?
I'll go next. I think my my final thoughts is I wish they summed up what happened to everybody. I mean, they're all accessories to murder, right? So I want to know if Eddie got a reprieve because he told the girl instead of telling the police that this is going to happen, that she needs to call. He gave her the business card of the detective. I mean, it was so weird. But anyway, I give this. I loved this movie, but I give it a 2.
Wow.
I'm not unrealistic.
I mean, like, I guess like we're comparing it to other karate movies. Yeah. See, here I think I'm giving a low score. And what do you got, Cam? Oh, Trent, I'm sorry. Would you recommend this movie and buy this movie?
I did just recommend it to 2 people, and they fell for it.
They fell for it. Suckers. And you bought it?
Of course, I would buy it. If there was a Blu-ray of this, oh my God, wouldn't that look great?
Yeah.
This movie needs
in your
yeah, that upscale would be.
What's A Dangerous Place? Is that like a drama or something? Is that like a psychological thriller?
And sadly, this is not the only movie named A Dangerous Place. So you have to make sure you also type it Feldman in there.
All right, Cam with a K. What do you got?
I'm leaving. I can't deal with that. No, I'm going to give this a 2. Okay. 1, it's a recency bias. The Chuck Norris one had a lot more charm.
Sure.
But this one was only the 3rd act was good.
Yeah, the brutality of this was in Sidekicks. Oh my gosh.
Dude, yeah. Well, and then 2, you're making an R. This was R-rated.
Yeah, that was kind of
how on earth was that R-rated?
I have no idea. I don't.
You're making R-rated Karate Kid, and you don't make it cool.
Nope, there's still no blood. Was there blood?
No.
No, the guy he had a ski mask on when he fell down the stairs. It wasn't even good mutilation.
Yeah. But it's the innuendo of a backward sideburn that that tipped the scales with the rating committee.
Is that your 2 points right there? The two sideburns.
The two sideburns.
Roman numeral 2.
Yeah, I don't really have much more to say other than you're making R-rated Karate Kid, and that's what you come up with. And there are so many continuity errors, which is hilarious to me. I don't even know if this was supposed to be like a wide release movie, or was this a TV movie?
I think
I couldn't even look it up.
Direct to video.
Direct to video, okay.
Yeah,
and then also the
anything.
star of this movie, you can't even find him anywhere.
But they did get big names. This isn't like your regular like get a has-been and then a bunch of nobodies. I mean, you know, like
this is what made Corey Feldman has been.
Well, yeah, like I you know, because Erin Gray. Well, I mean, she's not a great name, but she's a name. And then Dick Van Patten's a name, and these are TV stars making it onto the big screen, and so I don't know.
Well, making it onto the same size screen, but you have to put in a VCR. So I don't know. I think it was the recency bias of sidekicks that kind of made this a little bit worse, but whatever.
I do want to mention that there I didn't clip it, but there's for those of you who can go and watch this movie, what's really great is at the end is the theme song. And so there's a ballad at the end for the credits called A Dangerous Place. And it's like, did somebody hear that song go, we have to make a movie. We have to make a movie. Like the song predated the movie.
Who is it by? I usually look up the music and I didn't recognize any names.
It says right here on the screen, right? Here's where we're gonna put that.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Okay, yeah, what a great band. I love them.
Artist, yeah.
I mean, I do want to say a couple of these user reviews I'm reading. I love some of the headlines. You got every bit as good as Karate Kid. One person said best Karate Kid ripoff yet.
The one's like Mrs. Feldman. And then Grandpa Feldman.
Actually,
they should add a star on IMDb reviews that says, I was also on acid.
There is one headline that says Feldman Foo on this one. And Goonie Go-Go. Or Goonie Goo-Goo, I should say. And then, of course, you got one person who's like, quit comparing this to Karate Kid. It's a different movie. It's completely different than Karate Kid.
I mean, I like to
stop with the Karate Kid comparisons. It says Corey Feldman carries a lot of the acting. It's a shame he was blackballed because he was a great actor.
Is that what happened?
And I don't know. This guy gave it an 8 out of 10. And that was in 2020.
And Trent already made the Feldman user joke.
Yeah.
Feldman fan 69.
So, if anybody thinks that we should do more Corey Feldman films, put it down in the comments here.
We will delete them.
We will delete them, or we'll highlight them, and we'll give you admin user rights because thank you for watching our program here.
You'll get a top fan highlighter color on when you make it.
Yeah, whatever it is. Anything else, gentlemen? Nope. I think it's time to be done with karate movies for at least 2 weeks, right?
13 days.
13 days. We might have another buffer in between. But anyways, thank you both. And thank you everyone who hung out with us and watched this. And thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Do You Remember This Movie? Or this
How's the little sister of yours doing?
A lot better without you around,
Oh, ouch. God, that hurts so bad.
loser.
Or this TV show.
High school can be a dangerous place.